back in a couple of hours. Kirk. Why didn't you tell me where you were going, Kirk? I know why. You went to see that man. You think he's going to help you discover your past, but he can't. Because it isn't your past at all.
Hey, you want a drink? I got a little scotch.
No, all I want is information, Watts.
Hey, you and me both, Kirk. You and me both. We got a lot of catching up to do. It's been 10 long years.
And you're going to fill me in on those...
And you're going to fill in a few things for me. Like, for instance, what happened to my money?
Your money? I owe you money?
It comes to 25 grand without interest. But it seems to me like a nice even 30 would be a lot more reasonable after all these years. Now, that's how Frankie feels too. And Frankie feels exactly the same way that I do about collecting what's coming to us. So what's it gonna be, Kirk? The easy way or the hard way?
Look, I'm not saying that I don't owe you that
You owe
money.
both of us, baby. 30 for me and 30 for Frankie. We were all equal partners, remember?
No, I don't remember. That's the point. Look, I don't remember anything about the past 10 years. All I can tell you about are the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, but you don't deny you're Kirk Michaels.
No, Kirk Michaels, that's my name.
Well then, at least we know where we're at, huh? I mean, you're Michaels, and you're alive and well and loaded, right?
No, I don't have any money.
Well,
I'm
you
telling
got the money, all right. And it belongs to me. And you were going to hand it over if I got to kill you.
Try to understand. There's something wrong with me. I was in an accident. Whatever it was, it affected my memory.
Hey, it's a nice story, Kirk. You working out alone, or did that Foxy yours help?
She's my wife. I married her 10 years ago.
Well, the story isn't going to work.
Look, Watts, I came here of my own volition, didn't I? Would I come here if I knew that I owed you all that money? Do you think I'd come in this place all by myself?
Well, you knew we'd come after the money. So maybe you thought that you'd come out here and try to convince us that you were broke.
I came here to find out about my past because I thought you would help me.
Or maybe you came out here to try to take care of the problem another way. Stand up.
What?
Stand up!
Look, I don't have a gun!
Figured you'd use your brains, huh? You always thought you had brains, Kirk. I remember that from the night I met you to plan that payroll job.
I was involved in a robbery?
I was involved in a robbery? Are you kidding? You worked it out, and you worked it out in your favor.
I don't remember it. I don't remember a thing.
It's going to be the perfect heist. 100 grand. That may not sound like much now, but 10 years ago it had a real nice sound to it. $25,000 apiece. Only we were going to split up into 2 teams. Me and Frankie, and you and Harry Willems. You remember Harry, don't you?
No, I don't remember him.
He got his in a crash on the freeway. You know, Frankie saw the cops scraping him off the road. And we also thought that you were dead.
I was in the car.
Yeah, you were supposedly thrown clear. Only you got up to run and the cops shot you down dead. At least that's what they reported. What'd you do, Kirk? You work out a little deal with them?
I don't know. I swear I don't know.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter now. 'Cause you're here. And you're alive and well, and you're looking like $1 million. Well, at least 60 grand.
Now, look,
don't tell me you spent it. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear anything about bad debts or bad memory. All I want is my share. You understand?
If I had it, I would give it to you. I couldn't rest knowing I had that kind of money.
You don't know how many times I've dreamed about that money. This rotten place. Handyman at an amusement park, painting wooden horses, watching creeps out there, carrying on like a bunch of kids.
Look, I don't remember. I don't remember the police, the robbery, the escape, nothing.
You know, I am beginning to get a little upset.
Look, if I had it, I don't have it now.
Yeah.
When they found me wandering in the woods, my pockets were empty.
Yeah, people don't go around with 50 grand in their pocket. I mean, that's why they have banks and bonds and real
But
estate.
the money is there. I don't know how to get it.
Because something happened to your head, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, something else is... Something else is gonna happen to your head.
Look, Watts. Why don't you relax? Put the gun away. You're gonna kill me, and you're gonna kill me for no reason at all. And if you do kill me, Watts, you're never gonna get that money.
Well, now you're starting to make a little sense. You know, Frankie is really going to enjoy this.
Deborah, it has been much too long. I was saying to April Scott just the other day, it is shocking how little I have seen of my own stepdaughter. You look wonderful.
Oh, Geraldine, you look wonderful. You know, you always seem to manage to stay so happy and so busy.
Well, actually, I've been very fortunate. There are any number of wonderful young people in my life. And I have work activity at the TV station that is both rewarding and challenging.
Oh, I have heard nothing but good things about your work there. You know, April's really lucky to have you.
Well, I think it's work that keeps you young. Work and other things.
Well, right now all I've got is my work.
Yes, I'm afraid I did hear there had been a change in your personal life.
Well, it's a much bigger change for Steve. You know, he's got a new job in a new state. He's got a new girlfriend, too. He wrote me a letter.
Oh, dear. That must have been a very bad moment for you. Somehow, I thought somewhere along the line that you and Steve one day would get married.
I can't help but think sometimes I made a mistake.
Oh, it's not a matter of making a mistake. I knew all along that you were not eager to settle down and get married. And I knew, too, that Steve always essentially has been a very old-fashioned man. He believes in home and family and marriage and children and all of those things. And I must say I agree with him completely. I'm sorry. That wasn't meant to be critical.
You don't have to worry about that. It's nothing that I haven't said to myself 100 times. I don't know why. I'm not sensible when I think about men. There must be something perverse about me. How else do you explain it? I mean, I always seem to fall in love with these guys that are either too wild or too old-fashioned or too rich or poor or what's left. Oh, I guess there could be something worse than that.
And what would that be?
Oh, I could be in love with a man who's in love with somebody else.
Hello. Well, hello, Deborah. I hope you're not leaving just because I got here.
Oh, Deborah, please stay. Logan would enjoy your company, too.
Well, I think Logan had enough of me in Graham County.
Oh, but that was only business.
Well, this is business. I've got to go to work. I've got to go pick up Calvin up at Coriander Street, and we're going to investigate some muggings.
That's down by the Unicorn, isn't it? Any connection between the two?
Well, we don't really know, but then muggers do go where the crowds are.
Makes sense.
Deborah.
I'll see you again. We talk?
Oh, I'd love that. Goodbye.
See you, Logan.
Bye. You take care.
My, she's a lovely young lady, isn't she?
Yes, she is, and a very unusual one, too.
Rather sad at the moment.
Oh, yeah. I was there when she got the bad news.
I hope you did the gentlemanly thing and offer a shoulder.
Ooh, a handkerchief, anyway.
Deborah didn't say very much about your trip together, so I gathered that the case you were working on is highly confidential.
Yes, it was. It's not like the fate of the Western nations is hanging in the balance, but it is sensitive.
I see. Well, tell me about your evening. You saw April.
Yes, dropped by there on the way home. Thought it'd be nice to say hi, I'm home, that sort of thing. Ended up saying an awful lot more.
Did you?
Yes, I'm afraid I did. Made quite a fool of myself. And I have nobody to blame but Raven.
Raven to blame? What on earth do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry I brought it up. It's very complicated.
Logan, obviously you need someone to talk to. I have a shoulder too, you know. All right, now come on. What has Raven done now?
Well, Raven told April that the reason for my coolness to her the past few...
Is that true? Have you been cool?
Yes, I'm afraid I have been. But Raven told her that the reason was that I no longer needed April for the custody trial, which is preposterous.
Why did you change your mind?
Well, I had to. I didn't... It was Raven again. She threatened to tell April, well, that the reason for my so-called coolness...
I'm sorry, dear, but you've lost me now.
I'm sure I have. I told you it was complicated. I'm very sorry I brought it up because I can't talk about it anymore. I really can't.
Well, at least you can tell me what happened this evening. You were about to say that you told something to April. Now, what was that?
Well, I told April that the reason I'd pulled away from her in the past week or so was because I realized how close I wanted to be.
I see.
Shouldn't have put it to her that way. That's... My God, husband's been dead a couple of months, and there I am.
Logan, Draper is gone. But life will go on. You don't need me to tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then what is it? Why would you hesitate in expressing your true feelings?
Because there are other factors involved, Geraldine.
What other factors? Surely you don't feel that you would be betraying the trust of a friend. You couldn't. Because that friend is dead.
If he's dead.
What do you mean, if?
Geraldine, I am 99% sure that he is. But there's 1% doubt. That's what Deborah and I were doing up in Graham County, trying to resolve that doubt.
But, Logan, this is incredible. It's impossible.
I have to ask you again, Geraldine, not to repeat this to anyone. Far too many people know about this autopsy as it is.
Of course, I understand that. Certainly you don't want April knowing anything of this. Terrible, the thought that that child might wait for Draper to come home for the rest of her life. Certainly she'd never marry.
No, I don't think she would.
Good Lord. This is a terrible thing for you to be carrying around and hiding.
Just sorry I had to keep it from you as long as I did.
Don't give that a thought. I don't have to know everything. Despite the fact I'd rather. What I want to know is what you hoped to find in Graham County.
Geraldine, I think I heard the phrase wild goose chase, maybe 100 times in the past couple of days. It got so bad at one point that Deborah and I were kicking $5 into the kitty every time we heard it. I think we got enough now to buy Graham County.
In other words, you learned nothing at all.
Oh, wouldn't say that. We learned that nobody on the rescue team has the slightest idea how Dwyer's handcuffs could have been connected to the wrong man, and nobody on the rescue team saw Draper getting away from the train.
Obviously, Draper was lost, probably in the river.
That seems to be the general consensus.
Surely someone would have seen or heard from him by now.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Anyway, Deborah and I felt that we had to go up there to make sure that he wasn't injured or sick someplace, and didn't find a clue. Well, we found one clue. Waitress who said she thought she saw a hobo wandering around the night of the wreck.
In the vicinity of the train wreck?
Well, no, not really. About 2 miles away in a little town called Evansville. Said she thought she saw him heading out towards an isolated farm owned by a man named Galt. Galt.
What is it?
Nothing. Something just struck me about that name.
Well, did you talk to the people in that house?
People, no, I didn't. The house was all boarded up. There was a for sale sign out front. The house was a dead end as far as Deborah and I were. Galt. Why is that name so familiar? Where have I heard that name before?
what do you think? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, she needs lessons, all right.
Hey, look, what kind of crack is that?
Was it any good? Please tell me honestly.
You really mean honestly?
Of course.
Don't waste your money.
Hey, look, no one asked you to be that honest.
No, it's obvious that you really enjoy dancing, miss. So why don't you do just that? Why don't you and your friend go to the disco down the street and have yourselves a good time?
Hey, look, mister, look. Estelle here, she wants to be a professional. And I think she's got the talent to go all the way with it.
Forget it, Lenny. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Estelle! Hey, come on, Estelle, you're not gonna let this lollipop over here tell you if you got the talent or not, are you?
Hey, you want a second opinion, go ahead and get one.
Hey, look, what makes you such an expert, huh? It's because you fly around, you get 3 feet off the ground on your little wings, huh?
Well, how would you like to try for 6 feet under, fella?
Hey, look, why don't you go play with your toe shoes, huh? You got nothing to get tough about. Estelle, let's get it.
Hey, Tarzan. This was a dance lesson. I was just giving a free sample.
Yeah, well, exactly who is who in here anyway?
They came in asking about dance lessons. I just told them I didn't have room for the young lady. That's all.
I check out with you?
Yeah, that checks out with me fine.
Okay, well, look, if that's all there is to it, why don't you two just leave? I mean, there are other studios in town.
Okay, don't worry about it. We're going. Let's go, so let's get out of here. I'll see you.
Well, never knew dance instructors knew so much about wrestling. Should have joined the police.
No thanks. I like being what I am. I don't have to be a cop to prove myself.
Yeah, well, you don't have to go around taking a slug at every guy who looks at you cross-eyed either.
He did a little bit more than that.
Like what?
He said some things about dancing I didn't like.
Oh, you mean he made cracks about your manhood? Oh, boy. You know what that's like. I went through that myself a long time ago.
You?
Why would anybody make cracks about cops? I mean, you guys are cops, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Detective Deborah Saxon. This is Detective Calvin Stoner.
Yeah, but we didn't get your name, mister.
Gavin Wiley.
What was this about people making cracks about you?
Look, if you repeat this, when I was, a kid, I wanted to be a dancer for a while. As a matter of fact, I even took a few lessons when my old man could afford it.
Boy, that's a switch. You and I should trade fathers.
Somehow I don't think it would have worked out. Come on, let's get back to work.
Detectives, it's nice meeting you.
Ciao.
Maybe I should call the police. That would make a lot of sense. They could find him and help him if he needs any help. God, no, I can't. Draper Scott was a criminal attorney. He knew a lot of policemen, and they would recognize him, and I would lose him. I can't let that happen. Because I love him too much. God forgive him. What should I do?
Oh, look, you don't have to tie me up this way.
I can't keep holding this gun on you forever, Kurt, and I don't want you making any sudden moves.
Look, Watts, I'll make you a deal, all right? I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just let me go. You don't tie me up.
Yeah, sure. I'll just take your word for it, right? You must think I'm as stupid as I was 10 years ago. Well, I'm not. I'm 10 years smarter, and I learned how not to take so many chances.
Look, it won't do you any good to tie me up this way. I can't give you what you want.
Yeah, well, we'll see what Frankie has to say.
Who's Frankie, your boss?
Frankie's smart. Frankie started that payroll job, remember?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, Frankie started it from the inside. We would have done just fine without you, Kurt.
Look, I don't remember you, Frankie, or the job.
See, that's one of the reasons why I know why you're lying. Because nobody can forget Frankie.
right guy, Larry. That's all I gotta say.
He's the right one. Come on and see for yourself. What'd I tell you, Frankie? Kirk Michaels in the flesh.
Sure is a resemblance.
Yeah, the minute I saw this dude in the Midway, I knew it was him.
Kirk, I can't tell you how good it is to see you.
Am I supposed to know you?
Come on, Kirk. I mean, Frankie here is the most unforgettable lady that you'll ever meet.
Reports of your death are greatly exaggerated, obviously.
I'm still alive.
Well, what you have to decide now is, would you like to stay that way?
How many times do I have to tell you that I can't say anything that's going to help you?
Look, how many times do I have to tell you I don't believe you?
Well, look, honey. All you have to do is lead us to our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and we'll all live happily ever after, okay?
I can't do it.
You keep singing that song, and I'm going to change your tune for you real fast. The taps.
All the threats in the world won't change the fact that I have no memory of the past 10 years.
Oh, here we go again.
Look, I know what you're going to do to me if I can't tell you about the money. If I knew, don't you think I'd tell you?
I don't know. Maybe you're just the greedy type. Either that or you're just plain stupid.
And if you think we're bluffing, you are very wrong.
All right, I'm going to run it past you one more time. If I had that money and I spent it, I don't remember. If I had the money and I hid it, I don't remember that. Either way, the money is gone. Now, how many times do I have to repeat that before you idiots get it through your thick skulls?
That's a swell performance. But you've had 10 years to rehearse it.
You still think I'm faking?
Look, I can't say I blame you for trying to hold on to the money. But this absent-minded routine has got to go. It's getting me very, very nervous.
I'll bet if we let you go, your memory'd come rushing right back to you, and then you would be on the first flight out of Monticello with that money in your pocket.
What do I have to tell you to convince you that I'm telling the truth?
Maybe Kirk's afraid that we're gonna hurt him after we get the money. Huh?
Listen, honey. All I care about is getting the dough. You talk, and I won't muss up that pretty head of yours.
Look, I can't tell you what I don't know.
You know, I don't buy this absent-minded professor bit. You talk now, and quick, or I'm going to give you a memory refresher course. And let me tell you, I guarantee that the final exam is a killer. Larry, let me see his wallet.
I already checked it out, Frankie. There's only a couple of bucks in it. Not enough to make us rich.
You idiot! Did you think to look in other compartments to see if you could find a slip of paper, perhaps, that said safe deposit box number or something like that?
I didn't think about it.
So what else is new? You're as stupid as you ever were. No wonder you're still painting horses on merry-go-rounds.
I do a lot more than that.
Hey, there's a pay stub. So you live in Oakdale, huh? Pretty fancy neighborhood.
Answer me this, Michaels. I mean, how does a guy with a no-account factory job afford to live in a nice neighborhood like Oakdale, huh? Unless he's got a nice little nest egg stashed away.
My father-in-law died. My wife and I bought the house in Oakdale with the money from his life insurance policy.
Unless you talk, you better pray that there's room for one more in that family plot.
Why didn't you tell me he was married?
I didn't think he was your type.
Haven't you wondered what his wife might be doing at this very minute?
Huh?
You know, married guys never leave the house for 1 minute without their wives knowing exactly where they've gone.
I never thought about that.
You know, he could have told her that if he wasn't back in an hour, to call the cops. You know, for all you know, for all I know, the boys in blue are right out there waiting for us this minute. And you know, that shade of blue is not my favorite color.
Rotten place. There's nobody out there. I'm sorry, Frankie, I didn't think.
You didn't think. You didn't think. You never think. Maybe that'll start your brain working again.
But take it easy, Frankie. So I made a little mistake.
Now, I made the mistake of bringing you in on this job. Well, at least I'm here now. Things will be handled right, the way they ought to be.
Really?
Yeah, there's somebody down there.
Well, I could go down with a shotgun in my hand, but it'd probably scare the daylights out of Jody. Not make her feel too welcome either.
Well, you're right. It must be her. I forgot we had a guest.
You told her you'd show her around in the morning. Maybe she just couldn't wait.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe she got hungry. I don't think she ate much yesterday.
Oh, she said she wasn't hungry.
Well, maybe her stomach changed its mind.
Then I better get downstairs and fix her some
Sweetheart,
eggs and show her where
look,
the
she's a
cereal
very
is.
self-sufficient type young girl. She can make do for herself.
Well, I guess you're right. I suppose I shouldn't pamper her. She'd resent it.
Right, let's go back to sleep.
Hey. Are you sure that you don't mind her being here?
I don't mind her being here. She'll take much better care of herself under our watchful eye than she would have. She'd stayed at that dance studio.
It's true. I want her to be well. I care about her.
Sure you do. It's your kid's sister.
Well, I don't know if I've developed that kind of attachment yet, but I like her. Do you?
Yeah, sure. She's spunky. She's intelligent. She reminds me of you.
I'm glad you have good feelings about her.
I love when she came into my office and plunked that check down my desk, said she wasn't going to take it.
She could have used that money, too. She's down there, all right.
Maybe she took us too literally when we said make yourself home. Maybe she's rearranging the furniture.
No, she might not be feeling well. She might be sick.
She can knock on the door. She knows there's a doctor in the house.
Yeah. Well, sometimes self-reliant people can be downright stubborn. I'm gonna go downstairs. Make sure she's all right. Down here, it's the middle of the night.
I'm sorry. I knew I was going to wake somebody up.
Are you all right?
Well, I'm a little overtired, but other than that, I'm fine.
Okay. Couldn't sleep, huh?
Well, after I got done staring at the ceiling, I decided I'd come down here and try to read. But then I couldn't find the light switch, and I knocked into some furniture.
There's no harm done.
I also wanted to spend some time in this room, alone.
Oh, well, all right, fine. It's a good idea, too, because during the day, the traffic in here picks up a lot. Especially when Adam decides he wants to play Cowboys and Indians.
I can't wait to meet my nephew. You know, when you let me look in on him before, he was so cute. He was looking like a little angel.
Well, there's a lot of devil in him, too. You know, he's gonna love you.
I'm gonna love him too. You know, this room is beautiful. The whole house is. I've never seen a house like this, let alone stay in one. I guess I just want to sit here for a while and let it all sink in.
I'm glad you like it.
Like it? God, it's like a palace to me. Especially compared to that pigsty I shared with my mother.
I'm sure your mother did the best she could to provide for you.
Yeah. Well, I guess the places I stayed after that weren't much better. But being in this house, it's like a dream.
It's very real. You aren't going to wake up and find yourself in any of those places that you dislike. And I want you to know something. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like.
You know, I can't describe it, but being in this house, I get this feeling. It's like warm and happy. You know what I mean?
Well, Miles and I kind of like to feel that this house is filled with love, so maybe that's what you're picking up on.
Yeah, well, it's not the love that applies to me. I'm just a stranger here.
Jody, Miles and I already care about you a great deal.
Nobody's ever cared about me before. Not really. You know, it's a good feeling.
Give yourself a chance. It's very easy to get used to.
You know, there is another book I'd like to spend some time with.
What it would say?
Well, it's this one.
Oh, our family album.
I've never seen one of these before. I guess only real families have them, huh?
You don't have one?
No, I only have a couple of snapshots of my mother and myself. Somehow it's just not the same.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can consider this your family album. I mean, if you'd like to.
But how?
It's very easy. You just give me a picture of yourself and I'll put it in.
Do you really mean that?
You're part of this family. You belong in this album. And I want you in it.
Oh, Nicole. Can I look at this for a little while? Now?
Well, it's kind of late. I mean, if you could hold off until morning, we could look at it together.
Oh, I'd like that. Except I'm not that tired right now. So why don't you go up to bed and then I'll just sleep through it by myself, okay?
Well, suit yourself. But you get some rest.
I will.
Good night, Jody.
Good night, Nicole. Nicole? Thank you. You know, maybe I'll start a family album of my own.
What is this now? The meeting of the Insomniac Societies in this past your bedtime?
Oh, well, I was trying to sleep, but just couldn't turn my brain off.
It's really been very edgy since Emily's phone call. Is that bothering you?
But Emily was she sounded so worried. You know, thank you. It isn't like Kirk to run off unexpectedly like that.
No, it isn't. He usually sticks pretty close to home.
The idea of him out there alone in that car just doesn't please me one little bit.
Molly, how well do you know Kirk?
Well enough, I suppose.
I know certain things about Kirk that I'm sure Emily would prefer that I didn't know.
Like what?
Like the fact that he has a criminal record. Look, I know it wasn't terribly serious and it happened a long time ago, but the fact is he was in trouble with the law.
Now, who told you that?
Well, I'm afraid some friends of mine thought I should know a little bit more about the couple I was selling my house to, and they did some checking.
Oh, I see.
Doesn't change anything, Molly. I mean, it doesn't change how I feel about Emily. She's a very, very lovely woman, and I can even understand why she might want to keep her husband's past a secret.
Yeah. Now, you did say this police record was a long time ago.
You did know about all that, didn't you?
Well, you know, I really am not much concerned with the Kirk that was. I know the man now. I mean, he's a good man. He loves Emily. He takes very good care of her, and that is all that matters to me.
I know you want Emily to be happy.
Well, and I still don't think they can be here in Monticello.
And that, I'm afraid, may be partly my fault.
Well, now, what could you have done?
Well, Kirk's disappearance might have been instigated by a desire for fresh air, or it might be a direct reaction to me and my friends.
I don't follow you.
Mr. Swift took a trip out to Oakdale a couple of days ago to meet Kirk because I've been unable to meet him, and to be very honest with you, we have been very curious about him.
Mrs. Scott, I thought Emily explained to you that Kirk's illness made him very shy in front of strangers.
She did. But when Emily found out that Mr. Swift was not just my friend, but also the district attorney, she thought he might be there on official business.
Well, I think it's obvious.
She chased Kirk away from the house, Molly.
I think it's obvious that Emily was trying to protect him from memories of his past.
Maybe. Look, all I'm saying is that the misunderstanding may have alarmed Kirk. It may even have threatened him. He may have felt threatened.
Mrs. Scott, he is not going to run off.
Molly, I certainly hope not.
And I really don't think that you should concern yourself with this. I'm going to try and read. Why don't you try and get some sleep?
Yeah, it's been a very long day. I think I will try to do that. I'll, see you in the morning.
Now, everything's going to be all right, Mrs. Scott. I know it is. How can I help but worry?
Hello?
Emily, it's me.
Hello, Molly.
Oh, I take it that Kirk isn't home yet.
No, he isn't. My God, it's been over 3 hours. Molly, I'm worried sick.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm sure when he does come home, he'll have perfectly good reasons for not being home this long.
I know where he is, Molly. He's with that man who thinks he's Kirk. There's something really menacing about him.
Oh, now, are you sure you're just not imagining that, dear?
Yes, I am sure. Molly, I feel so helpless just sitting here waiting for the phone to ring.
Not much else you can do but wait.
I could call the police. Maybe they could put out one of those all-points bulletins and find him.
Emily, now you can't do that. If you contact the police, Kirk will be recognized for what he really is immediately.
Well, maybe not.
Draper Scott was a very well-known criminal lawyer in Monticello. He may have worked with him hand in hand. They'll recognize him on the spot.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
And once he knows who he really is, you will lose him forever.
I know, Molly, but what if something's happened to him? I couldn't stand it if he was hurt.
But then don't do anything rash. Anything to hurt yourself.
Okay, I'll call you when he comes in. Bye now. maybe it would be all right. Maybe they wouldn't recognize him. Hello?
Emily, it's Kirk.
Oh, Kirk, thank God. Are you all right?
Yeah, Emily. Everything is fine.
You went to see that man, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Well, where are you?
Emily, I can't tell you that.
Oh, Kirk, tell me where you are so I can come and meet you. I want to be with you. Please let me be with you.
No, Emily. It's just not possible.
I'm frightened.
I want you to do something. Tomorrow morning, first thing, I want you to go and call Jock at the factory. I want you to tell him that my leg is acting up again and that I won't be in for a couple of days.
Well, of course I'll do that, but why won't you tell me what's happening?
Because I can't tell you any more than I've already told you, Emily. You just have to trust me.
Kirk, I'm afraid I'm never going to see you again.
No, Emily, everything is okay. You have to believe that. I believe it. You have to believe it. Right?
I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
Bye.
Are you satisfied?
You did real good, Kirk. Now let's see what we can do about improving that memory of yours.
The doctor can see you at 4 o'clock this afternoon, Mrs. Waterbury, if that's convenient for you. Good. I'll put your name down then. And if we have any earlier cancellations, I call you. Good. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Well, it's all quiet in the waiting room, finally.
Yeah. Mrs. Waterbury will be in at 4 o'clock.
All right, good. How's everything going? First day on the job.
No problems, no complaints.
Were you able to dig out those x-rays of Tommy Barnes' broken ankle?
Oh, I was on my way to the cabinet when the phone rang. I'll get them right now.
Emily, is everything all right?
Will be, as long as these x-rays are filed under B.
You look a little tense, a little hyper even.
First day job jitters, I guess.
No need for that. You're doing fine.
Well, thank you. I guess that's because your filing system and my father's are just about identical.
Well, I just have one patient left this morning, a Miss Travis.
Yes, I saw her name on the book.
She arrives, just sent her in.
Of course, Doctor.
Scott residence?
Oh, Molly, it's Emily.
Oh, Emily, is Kirk back?
No, he's not back yet. But he called me last night just after I spoke to you. He said he's all right, Molly. But he also said he won't be back for a few days. I can't stop thinking about him. I can't stop worrying about him. I don't know how I'm going to get through the day.
Now, Miss Emily, just get a hold of yourself. I know it's hard, but getting all upset like this is not going to accomplish anything.
Where can he be?
Well, I wish I could answer that for you.
I know he's in some kind of awful trouble. I'm just sure of it.
Now, Kirk said that he would be all right, didn't he? Take him at his word. Please learn to trust and believe in him.
Molly, I trust Kirk. It's that man he's with I'm frightened of.
He'll be just fine. I know it.
You know, Molly, maybe I really ought to call the police. They'll be able to find him and help him if he's in any trouble.
Emily, if the police find Kirk, even if he is unharmed, something terrible might happen to your marriage.
I know. And that's why I won't call them. I can't.
Now, I know you have plenty to do to get settled into that job of yours. Concentrate on that and do everything you can to take your mind off this problem. I know that the hardest thing in the world sometimes is to wait, but it just has to be done. Oh, Mrs. Scott came in. I'll call you back. Lizzie Scott, that was Emily. It seems her first day at work with your brother is going along just fine.
Oh, terrific. I'm glad to hear it. I will give her a call this evening and get a first-hand report.
My, you look just lovely this morning, Mrs. Scott.
Well, thank you, Molly. I picked this up in Bennett's the other day.
Oh, that means it's a special occasion?
As a matter of fact, I am lunching in one of the finer eateries of our fair city.
Well, your heads will certainly turn when you make your entrance.
I certainly hope so. Then I am heading off to WMON to make my first appearance there as station owner. So I thought I'd better get my act together and, look the part.
Well, you do look every bit also the professional businesswoman.
Well, good, because I plan on taking a more active role, in the everyday operations of the station. As a matter of fact, I even set up a meeting with a couple of the department heads this afternoon. Oh, so I will be gone for most of the afternoon.
Oh, take as long as you like. Judy and I have a very busy day. We are going for a walk in the park, and then, we have a little lunch, and then a nice bath and a nap.
Thank you. Thank you for being so wonderful with my daughter. I can't tell you how comfortable it makes me feel to know she's in such good hands.
Oh, it's a pleasure. She's a lovely little lady.
Oh, I have spent so much time this morning making myself perfect that I'm going to be late for the restaurant.
Oh, well, I thought a woman was always allowed to be a little late.
No, I'm on too tight a schedule, as is my lunch date, to play games of that sort. I should really give him a call and tell him I'm going to be late so we can get more work done and not wait at the restaurant.
Oh, it's very nice of you. I could make the call for you if you didn't want to lose any more time.
Well, thank you very much. You could probably leave a message with the secretary. There's no reason to interrupt him if he's in a meeting or something.
Your lunch date, by any chance, isn't Mr. Swift, is it?
Well, as a matter of fact, it is.
Oh, well, I guess I was hoping it was. You seem to enjoy his company so much, and, well, I think he's very nice.
He is. Listen, you and Julia have an absolutely wonderful afternoon,
we will.
okay?
Have a good day yourself.
Give her a kiss, Rose.
I will. April and Logan.
How did you get to be district attorney, huh? How did you pass the bar? How did you graduate law school?
I get the feeling you're upset with me.
I don't understand how a lawyer is supposed to be so smart, can make such a dumb move, especially about something that's so near and dear to him.
Cliff, I'm just doing what I think is best.
Walking into that courtroom without a witness, huh?
The subject is closed. You don't like my strategy? Withdraw from the case. I'll get somebody
I think
else.
your being in love with April Scott has clouded your judgment.
Do me a favor and go chase an ambulance, one that's just made a U-turn if you can find it.
Okay. Your personal life is your own concern.
That's right.
As your lawyer and your friend, I'm trying to stop you from making a move that I honestly believe will ruin your chances of ever seeing Jamie again.
This is the way it has to be.
We have to prove that Raven is a rotten mother.
Well, you're just going to have to dazzle him with footwork.
It's very difficult to do when you keep on tying my shoelaces together. How do you feel about calling that dippy babysitter, Gloria, what's her name, to the stand?
I don't see how that would do us much good. Raven would just claim that the girl gave her a bunch of glowing references which turned out to be phony. It was an easy mistake, one that won't happen again. We gained no points.
That's exactly what I thought. Wait a minute. Hold. The little light bulb is burning brightly in my brain.
Well, keep me not in suspense. Tell me.
Oh, here he is. Look, we get Benita Thomas on our team.
Benita Thomas? The Benita Thomas?
Yes.
Who is Benita Thomas? And what can this stranger do for us?
She's a social worker. I worked on some child welfare cases with her while I was in your office.
Social worker? I don't get the point of that.
Well, she's not in the civil service anymore. She's working for a private foundation, but she's available for this kind of work, and believe me, she would be perfect for this case.
What is this kind of work that Benita's available for? I don't even know the woman. I'm calling her by her first name.
Look, we hire her to conduct a private investigation as to how Jamie's being treated, right? And then she renders an objective report. And an opinion that the seedy lifestyle and sordid love affairs of Raven Swift is ruining this poor innocent child.
You say she's good at this, huh?
Well, read those transcripts. No judge has ever doubted her competence or her sincerity.
You know the old saying, there's nothing like an expert witness to make a judge sit up and take notice.
Pretty good, huh, boss?
Cliff, much as it surprises me, you occasionally come up with a very good idea. Get in touch with this Miss Thomas.
I'll do it today. Now, boss, you have to repeat after me. Ready? Clifford Nelson is the most talented lawyer in the Western Hemisphere.
Well, anyway, I hope Mother has this overwhelming desire to visit with friends, because then I won't have to entertain her the whole time.
Doesn't sound like you're looking forward to this reunion.
Listen, when Mother and I get together, it is not a barrel of laughs.
Well, I'm sure you'll make the best of the situation. After all, it's your mother.
Derek, I am going to go through torture. The second she gets off the plane to the second she leaves, she nags constantly. She's always trying to dig her way into my life.
All mothers are like that. She's just concerned about your well-being.
No. I don't think Mother is well-intentioned. She just likes to give me a hard time.
That's too bad you feel that way. You know, sometimes parents and their children actually become friends.
Maybe you could help.
There's a familiar ring to the way you say that.
Come on, Derek. There must be a law in the books that makes excessive nagging a crime, right? Punishable by a large piece of tape being put across the mouth, huh?
A mother's right to nag is protected by the Constitution. It's what they call an inalienable right.
Oh, well. At any rate, she'll probably be very happy because she'll get to meet her grandson for the first time.
I'm sure that's going to be a thrill for her.
Yes. And when she sees how happy he is and how well I treat him, she's going to change her opinion about her daughter.
Babies can bring families back together again.
You know, Jamie is not the only man I want to introduce to my mother.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking that maybe we could go to dinner. You, me, and Mother.
You want me to meet your mother?
Derek, don't look like you just swallowed a chicken bone. I'll cater. You don't have to suffer through my cooking, okay?
Well, it's just that when a guy usually meets a girl's family, it signifies something.
Hey, relax. I'm not going to propose marriage.
Why do I get the honor?
Because all my life, my mother has hated the men I've gone out with. There's only one man that she liked. As a matter of fact, she liked him so much she married him, right? Anyway, I want you to meet her. I want her to see what a well-respected man I'm involved with now.
Why don't you ask Elliot Dorn?
Are you kidding?
He is the man you're involved with now.
Derek Mallory, how many times do I have to tell you? Elliot Dorn and I are finished.
Considering the amount of time you two spend together, he may not realize that. You ought to clue him in on it.
He is one of the mistakes my mother is always complaining about.
Why, isn't he wonderful and respectable?
No, as a matter of fact, I find him very sleazy.
So I should wear my good conduct medal and my merit badges, huh?
Yes, I think you should wear your chief of police badge right there on that lovely chest of yours.
So that's it. You want to use me as a showcase. You think if you parade the chief of police around in front of your mother, that'll add a little bit of respectability to your social...
That is not true. Oh, my gosh. We are not the only beautiful couple in this restaurant.
Who are you looking at?
April just walked in with Logan.
I'm sure they enjoy having lunch just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Don't they make a cute couple, though?
wonderful company. Logan, thank you for lunch.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You know, I feed myself regularly this time of day, whether I need it or not, and you're always welcome to join me.
I might take you up on that. But thank you especially for today, because it's a wonderful way to kick off an afternoon I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah, the rest of the hired hands know the boss is coming in today?
I think Geraldine told them. She said something about a red carpet and showering me with roses when I walk in the front door.
Well, they probably feel it's no less than you deserve. Oh, great signer of paychecks.
Thank you. Listen, I want you to understand, this is my debut appearance as station owner, WMON. And I don't really know how to act like the boss, you know. I mean, I want to make my presence felt. I just don't want to... Well, I just don't want to do too much.
The trick is to get their attention. I think if you walk in and you fire every other person, the ones that are left are going to pay close attention to you from there on.
You think that'll do it?
I think so.
I don't know. I think it's a tad too much. Maybe if I fired every third person.
Well, you don't want to appear weak.
Yeah. You know what I'll probably end up doing? Sticking my head into every department and with a very small and yet sincere voice.
Sincere is nice.
Hello.
Hello. I'll tell you one person who's really excited about your coming back, and that is Geraldine.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
She's been doing one heck of a job these past couple of months. It's about time I started taking some of that weight off her shoulders.
Don't you believe it? She's enjoyed every minute of it. She's just happy, and so am I, to see you back in action.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels real good.
It's taken some time, though.
Oh, some time and a housekeeper by the name of Molly Sherwood. If it weren't for Molly, I'd still feel tied to the apartment. Logan, look, she might be a little strange at times.
just a little.
Okay, but she's a godsend.
Well, you're lucky to find her, then.
The luck was when I met Emily Michaels. She's the one who introduced me to Molly.
Well, you two have just been exchanging good turns lately, haven't
Oh,
you?
come on. The reason I introduced her to Miles and suggested her for the job was to help both of them. I just hope it works out.
Time will tell. Don't you wish you'd said that?
No. I'll give Emily a call this evening and find out how her first day went.
That's probably a good idea. She's bound to be nervous. She's not overly qualified for the job.
Now, come on, that's not fair. She handled her father's practice for years. And granted, her father was a country doctor and didn't have as many patients as Miles, but so what?
That's right. You told me he was a doctor, and he died just before she came to Monticello, right?
Yeah, just a few days before. I guess when her father passed away, she felt there was nothing to keep her in Evansville.
April, do you remember what her father's name was?
Well, Molly's mentioned it a couple times. Gold? Yeah, Dr. Leo Gold. Why?
Well. Look who's all tucked away here in this cozy little corner, huh?
Oh, Raven, what a coincidence running into you.
It's nice to see you out and about again. Logan, it's real nice of you to bring April out of her show.
Where's our check? Wasn't our check here?
Come on, I can tell you're not finished eating yet, Logan. Don't kid me.
Something happened to my appetite. It's very strange.
Logan, I think the three of us should become friends, and I think the time to start is right now.
Well, you know what they say in showbiz. Don't call us, we'll call you.
If I wasn't in such rush, I'd join you right now.
Well, I'm sorry you're in a rush.
I gotta go home. I'm gonna take Jamie to the circus. We're having such a great time together. So, you two enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Okay, Doc, give it to me straight. I can take it. Am I going to make it to my next birthday?
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem. Whether or not you have the strength to blow out the candles on the cake is a different question.
Then there is something wrong with me.
Look, I don't think you're suffering from any dread disease, Jody, but it's obvious you're still fatigued.
Well, you know how it is with us girls who lead full lives.
Jody, you've got to start taking better care of yourself, or you're really going to endanger your health.
All right, I'll take vitamins.
All right, you take your vitamins. Very good idea. But I also want you to get 3 good meals a day. I want you to get 8 hours of sleep every night.
But there aren't enough hours in the day for all that.
Find the hours. Please, Jody, just do as I say, will you? You'll feel a lot better.
You know, I think this is the first time I've had a doctor's orders. Well, at least from a doctor like you, anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, one with a fancy private office. When I was growing up, my mother really didn't take me to the doctors. I went to the free clinic in my neighborhood.
Well, it doesn't have to be anything wrong with the medicine they practice in clinics. I ran one myself a couple of years back.
But, well, this kind of checkup makes me feel kind of special.
Well, special or not, it's not going to do you any good unless you take my advice now. You going to do that?
I'll try.
Well, try hard, okay?
Okay. I guess it's the least I can do, considering all you and Nicole have done for me.
Don't do it for Nicole and me. Do it for yourself, Jody.
You have some bedside manner, you know that? A little gruff, but effective. I got the message.
Good.
It was nice of you to take the time out to give me a checkup today. I know how busy you are.
Yes, you're very lucky. Very lucky. I don't usually treat family.
That's really how you think of me, isn't it? As your family.
Yeah, sure. And look, as long as you're staying under the same roof, I might as well warn you, I'm going to keep my eye on you. Make sure you don't mistreat yourself anymore. You're going to take care of yourself.
Okay, but you can stop playing mother hen pretty soon, because as soon as I feel up to it, I'll be out of your way.
Jody, you're not a burden on us. If you think that, you're wrong.
I know. It's just that when I came to Monticello, the last thing I wanted to happen was to sponge off on my newfound family.
That isn't the case, and you know it. Now, somebody's got to be looking after you, and Nicole and I care about you.
I'm not used to people caring about me. I hope you don't think I'm some kind of an ingrate.
I think of you as a very welcome guest in our house. Now, look, I'm not going to twist your arm, but I want you to stay as long as you think it's necessary.
Thank you, Miles.
Okay, now I'm going to chase you out of here. I've got about 4 minutes left of my lunch hour to have my sandwich.
Will I see you at dinner tonight?
Sure, yeah, I'll be there.
You know something? You're really terrific.
Mrs. Michaels, how are you today?
Mr. Smith, what a surprise. I didn't see your name in the book.
Well, that's because it's not there. I'm not here to see Dr. Kavanaugh. I wanted to talk to you for a while, if I may.
About what?
Well, don't worry. It has nothing to do with your husband.
All right.
How is he, by the way? Purely a social question.
Kirk is fine. As a matter of fact, he's out of town on business for a few days.
Really?
That's what I said.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound skeptical. It's just that I'd never heard of a factory worker taking a business trip. I'm sure there's an explanation.
Yes, he's taking a training course.
Ah, there you go.
And you said you wanted to speak to me about something and it had nothing to do with my husband?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of information today during my lunchtime conversation. I wanted to discuss it with you.
Okay.
It was brought to my attention that your maiden name was Galt, and your father was a Dr. Leo Galt.
Yes, that's right.
And you used to live just outside Evansville in a great big house.
Mr. Swift, if you could get to the point, I'd really appreciate it. I have a lot of work to do.
Lawyers who always beat around the bush. You remember the night of the Grand Falls train wreck? I'm sure you do. I was told that a man described as a tramp was seen coming from the direction of the train wreck and heading towards your house. Could you tell me anything about that? Mrs. Michaels, I heard a little bit of information during my lunchtime conversation I found very intriguing.
And I'll bet you're going to tell me all about it.
In my own roundabout way, yes. I was just told that Your maiden name was Galt. Your father was Dr. Leo Galt.
Yes, that's right.
That you lived just outside of Evansville, a great big house.
Mr. Swift, if you'd get to the point, I'd really appreciate it. I have a lot of work to do.
I do apologize. Lawyers, we beat around the bush. This has to do with the night of the train wreck at Grand Falls. I'm sure you remember that night. I was told that a man, described actually as a tramp, was seen coming from the direction of the wreck site and heading towards your house. I was wondering if you could tell me anything about that.
What do you expect me to tell you?
Well, anything. Did you or anyone in the Galt house see anyone like that? A tramp, a prowler, anyone at all?
No, we didn't.
You sure about that?
Mr. Swift, the accident occurred 2 miles away from our home. We didn't even hear about it until the next morning.
Well, I'm not really asking you about the accident. I'm asking about a man, a stranger, that you might have seen in your vicinity that night.
We didn't see any stranger.
Oh. What about your husband? Was he home that night, too?
Yes, he was. As a matter of fact, we went to bed early. We usually do.
Do you know a woman named Eileen Major? She's a waitress in Evansville.
I know very few people in town.
She's the one who told me about the tramp and said that if he was heading anywhere in that direction, to panhandle a meal, something like that, it would have to be your house.
I don't see what is so important to you. A tramp of all people.
It's funny. It's not really important unless the man wasn't a tramp.
Yes, Doctor.
Emily, those new forms come in from Washington?
Yes, they came in a few minutes ago. I'll bring them right in to you.
Oh, look, there's no hurry. I won't be preparing them till later.
No, it's all right. I'll bring them right in now. Excuse me, but the doctor needs me.
Of course.
Goodbye, Mr. Swift.
Goodbye, Mrs. Michaels. Thank you for your time.
Well, put these forms away right away. I always kept my father's files current. Not that it did much good. Every time he went through them, he put them back in the wrong place. Oh, God, talk about doing the wrong thing.
Emily, stop worrying so much, will you? It's not unnatural to be nervous your first day in a new job. Imagine what doctors go through their first day with any patients.
I don't know how you doctors do it with so much responsibility.
Listen, that's why we have to go through those years of training, face up to that responsibility.
Well, today I wish I had more formal training.
Well, let's not lose the old confidence now.
Oh, no, I won't. And you won't be sorry you hired me, Doctor. I promise you. Shall I get that?
Well, it's Dr. Kavanaugh. Well, yes, she is. As a matter of fact, she's right here.
It's for me?
Yep.
Is it, who is it?
It's a man. I didn't ask who it was.
Well, I'll take it outside then. I'm awfully sorry taking a personal call on my first day.
It's probably just somebody wishing you luck.
Well, I won't be long. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Michaels. It's Chuck. DeLuca?
Oh, yes, Mr. DeLuca. Did you get my message about my husband?
Oh, yeah, one of the guys told me he wouldn't be in, so I called the house to see how he was getting along, but nobody answered the phone.
Oh, Kirk was probably asleep. I turned the phone off in our bedroom so he wouldn't be disturbed.
Oh, gee, that sounds bad. His leg didn't get worse, did it?
No, it's not that at all. He has some kind of a flu or something.
The flu, huh? Well, I'm not saying I'm glad it's that, but, I'm happy it's not his leg, because I really feel guilty about that dropping my crate on the poor guy. I mean, it was all my fault.
No, it's not that at all. He's fine. In fact, we went to Playland this weekend, and I want to thank you again for those tickets.
Oh, hey, don't thank me. It sounds like he picked up some kind of bug or something.
Yes, I guess that is what happened. But I suppose those things are to be expected when you're traveling in crowds.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear it. Hey, I hope you don't mind me calling you at work. You know, Kirk told me you were going to work with Dr. Kavanaugh, so I looked...
Oh, no, it's very thoughtful of you.
Oh, well, anyway, listen. If there's anything I can do to help, you know, if Kirk wants me to do anything, you just let me know.
Yes, I will. And Kirk should be into work in a day or so. Well, thank you again for calling. Goodbye.
So long then.
Dear Lord, I hope it's true.
Help! Help!
Relax, honey, I'm back.
Take this off of me!
Okay. Told you it's just for a little while until I got myself some lunch.
These ropes, they're cutting off my circulation.
That's too bad. Look, babyface, it's not my fault Larry had to go to work when I started feeling these old hunger pangs. Looks good, huh? I thought you'd just like to watch me eat. It's good. Juicy. Nice cold beer, too. To hit the spot. These hamburgers are really terrific. I could eat a dozen of them.
Yeah, I can believe that. Look, you think you can starve me into telling you what you want to know?
You'll tell us sooner or later.
I can't. Look, how many times you gotta hear this before you get it through that thick skull of yours? I can't tell you something I don't know.
Oh, you had the money all right, baby. We know that. You had the whole $100 grand. We saw you with it.
Look, you said there was a car crash. Money could have been in the car. Maybe it was burned up. Maybe the police stole it. Any number of things could have happened to that money.
We know what happened to it. Some wise guy stashed it away and lived happily ever after. Till now, wise guy. It's really great. It's only an appetizer. The second one looks even better than the first. You know, there's another one in the bag. You could have it, too. It's cheap. It's only $60,000. Take a whiff. Good, huh? It's all yours. All you have to do is say the right words.
I don't know the right words.
Then you'll have to make some up. Otherwise, you won't have the pleasure of starving to death. It'll be a lot faster and a lot messier. It almost spoils my appetite just to think of the things we're going to have to do to you.
Hi, come on in.
Hi there.
Hey, remind me to have a key made for you.
Okay. I just came from your husband's office.
I know, I just talked to him on the phone a little while ago, and he said he gave you a clean bill of health.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it is. But I think he also told you you're not as strong as you should be.
I know. I'm still undernourished and run down and all those other little Orphan Annie things. But at least it isn't anything serious.
Well, it could be. If you don't take care of yourself and your body gets in a weakened condition, all those little bugs and viruses and germs are going to have a field day. Listen to me. I know I am the doctor's wife. I am not the doctor.
You must learn a lot being married to a doctor.
Yeah, you do. You also learn that even doctors can forget to take an umbrella when it's raining, and they can forget to eat for an entire day. Speaking of food, would you like some lunch?
Oh, no, I don't want to put you to any trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. It's already fixed. It's just a sandwich. Let me get it for you.
Okay. You know, Nicole, I've only been here a day, and already I feel so much stronger.
Don't kid yourself. It's going to take time.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Kavanaugh said.
No, I think you could call him Miles.
Do you really think so?
Sure. We'd all be a lot more comfortable. You are a member of this household.
I'd like that. I guess when a man is a doctor, you tend to get a little bit respectful.
Oh, respect isn't really a matter of titles anyway, is it?
No, I guess it's more than that. Besides, your husband isn't stuffy like you imagine most doctors to be. He's really warm and friendly.
I like him.
Where did you meet him?
In a hospital. I was a patient, and he was my doctor.
You know, you're really lucky to have met somebody like him. He's so giving. Most of the men I ever met have been takers. And the younger they are, the worse they are.
You're so young to be that cynical. Speaking of young men, we're going to have a young one over here tonight, and I happen to think he's very nice. Our friends Nancy and Mike Carr are coming over for dinner, and they're bringing their nephew. But you know Kelly McGrath, don't you?
Yeah, I like Kelly. He's a very sweet kid.
Well, if I were to take a guess, I would say that Kelly likes you, too.
He asked me out a couple of times.
Oh, he did? Did you go?
Well, no. It's not because I didn't like him. It's because I wasn't going out then.
That's right. You were busy with your dance lessons. You know, I admire your dedication. When I was your age, I don't think it would have occurred to me to miss a date for a dance lesson.
You know, you're not that much older than me.
Oh, I have a few years on you, sis.
It's really strange to hear you call me that. Sis.
I think we've established that it's true, haven't we?
Yeah. But being that we're only half sisters, and considering the circumstances of my birth...
Hey, none of that. Jody, if you think that there's anything for you to be ashamed of...
Well, isn't there? Our father wasn't married to my mother. He was married to yours.
If there's any blame involved, it's theirs. It's certainly not yours. There aren't any illegitimate children. They're just illegitimate parents. Anyway, I think that whole concept is dying out now. Well, certainly from a moral point of view, I don't know about the legal. Anyway, we were talking about a puppeteer.
You're right. I'm really glad Kelly has the chance to perform at the Unicorn.
So am I. Did you know that Miles helped him launch his career?
Miles did?
Sure. Well, I'm kind of kidding, but he did get him to do the show for the kids at Monticello General, and then that led to his plug on the air by that DJ, and that led to his current status as a star performer.
I'm just sorry that I got sick right in the middle of his debut.
Oh, no. It was fine. He was a big hit anyway. The audience adored him. I think that Elliot may have found a way to make that place a success.
Do you want to know something? I don't really like Elliot Dorn. I don't know. There's something about him. He's so tacky.
You know, you didn't tell me what you think about Kelly coming over here this evening.
It's your home, Nicole.
You can give me a better answer than that.
I told you. I like Kelly. He's very sweet. There's just one thing wrong with him. He's too young.
Grand Falls, Evansville. A mile and 3/4 on the main road. And on the back road, about 1.5 miles. Come in.
Already in.
Oh.
And I got some terrific news for you.
Oh, that's good. What is it for a change?
I just had a little chat with Benita Thomas.
Oh, yeah, the social worker. What she said?
She would not like that term, especially since she's working for a rich foundation now. She is a director of social engineering.
A director of social engineering? I'll make a note of that.
Well, she wasn't too keen on my idea about doing an objective study on Jamie's domestic situation.
Well, then what's the good news?
Would you let me set this up, all right?
Be my guest. Go ahead.
Well, I twisted a few metaphors, you know me and my silver tongue, and she agreed to do it. She's going to pay Raven a surprise visit, and when she sees the condition of that household, Jamie will be yours.
Cliff, it sounds good.
Good. It's great. It's terrific. It's the only evidence we got since you let April Scott off the hook.
Now.
Sorry. The only condition that Benita made was there's got to be a completely objective report. She's got to be able to submit it to the judge whether it's good or bad.
Well, that's fair. I understand that.
It won't be bad. It'll be horrific. Hell hath no fury like the director of social engineering's scorn.
Well, let's hope it works out that way. It'd be very useful.
Now, what are you looking at the map for? You taking another trip?
No, just checking out a place I've already been.
Where's that?
Evansville. It's up there by Grand Falls. I had an interesting encounter this afternoon with a former resident of Evansville who also happens to work for April's brother.
Yeah, who?
A woman named Emily Michaels. She and her husband used to live up there. I questioned her about the night of the train wreck.
Oh. You still looking for that dead body?
Well, the only clue we picked up there was that a tramp was seen that night heading from the direction of the wreck towards a house owned by a family named Galt.
Galt? What's that have to do with Emily Michaels?
Well, her name used to be Galt. It was her house, but she claims she didn't see anything, didn't hear anything.
So, see, you're back to square zero.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It's the way she denied it. A little too strongly, if you know what I mean. Methinks she doth protest too much.
Shakespeare.
Right.
I'm getting pretty good, you know. I used to have to invent all my quotes.
Goodbye, Cliff.
Right. Oh, look, Benita says she wants to get to work real quick, so there might be more good news soon.
Okay, you keep me posted. And Cliff, thank you. This is a terrific idea of yours. All right, remember, Louise, these pills have got to be taken twice a day.
I'll try, Doctor. I'm just a little forgetful sometimes.
Well, you got to take them. They won't do you any good. Come on.
Will Mrs. Simmons have her next appointment then?
Oh no, I'll call. I'll be away for a while.
Oh, all right. Have a good time. Just remember to take your pills with you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Doors to your right.
I have that letter for you.
Oh, nice. Well, look at this. You're so worried about the typing. It looks flawless.
Guess I was just afraid of the new typewriter.
Can you answer me a question, Emily, about your husband?
Yes, of course.
I think you mentioned he was ill, didn't you?
Yes, he is. He, has some kind of a flu.
Well, what I wanted to know is if you wanted to leave early today, maybe go home and take care of him.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. I just have one more patient, and I'm going off to the hospital.
No, thank you very much, but I'd really rather not do any good anyway.
Well, just how serious is this flu of his? Tell me, what is it? What's the matter at home?
The truth is that he isn't sick at all. He isn't even at home.
Where is he?
I don't know. He went out last night. He wrote me a note saying he'd be back in a couple of hours.
You mean say he just vanished?
Well, he called me later. He said he was going to be out of town for a few days on business. But he didn't tell me where.
Emily, tell me, did you and he have some kind of quarrel?
No. Well, we did have a little disagreement.
I see.
But I'm sure everything is going to be all right. He's going to come back home. It's just not knowing where he is or how he is. I just can't help worrying about him.
You don't think it's a matter for the police?
Oh, no. No. I think he's probably just met up with some friends, and he's going to stay with them for a few days. In fact, I'm sure of it. I'm really sorry to bring my personal problems here. I'll get this mailed out.
God, I hate this job. Every damn thing that goes wrong, they yell for me. How's our absent-minded professor?
I think he's hungry.
Yeah? Well, he ain't getting a bite to eat until he tells us something that we want to hear. Come on, Kurt, you can't hold out forever.
Look, I'm no hero. Money doesn't mean that much to me.
Well, it doesn't, huh?
No, it doesn't. I'd give you all the money for just one of those hamburgers, but I don't have it.
See what I mean? He's still putting on that act. He really thinks if he says it often enough, we'll believe him.
You have to believe me, it's the truth.
What are we gonna have to do to change your mind?
Whatever you do, it's not gonna work.
Just listen to that, Larry. I told you what we can do. And I don't mean just starving him or slapping him around. Come here.
bloody stuff, Frankie. You're liable to kill the guy.
We'll have to kill him whether he talks or not. You know that. Come on. It's the only way.
All right, but just be careful.
Oh, I'll be careful. Where are your tools?
They're on the table.
Ah. Very nice. Very, very